everybody. This is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster, and wear a mask. Thank you and stay safe.
Changu yate ampeti washte. Lehe waha chunka matola kota imachiapi. English, Wayne Bearshield. Where all my people know me as Shoe Bear. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hemp Commission this morning, today. The Hemp Commission is accepting growers license applications. You have to go to rosebudhemp.org to get the application, rosebudhemp.org. It has a listing of all the commissioners, the applications, the fees, the steps that you have to go through. The second part of this PSA is to inform all you retailers out there that are selling hemp products. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe does have a retailer's license for hemp products. Please go to rosebudhemp.org, rosebudhemp.org to get this information. It was installed last year and came into effect this year. So if you are selling hemp products of any kind, please go to rosebudhemp.org and get your retailer's application filled out, sent in with the applicable fees and everything, and we can get you approved and you can have a license from the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Hemp Commission hanging on your wall, making sure you are legal. Once again, pay attention to these two PSAs. Thank you from the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Hemp Commission. Ampetu Ashte Yuhapo. Aho.
Ron, Russell Eagle Bear, Elizabeth White Pipe, Steve Gray,
Here.
Stanley Woodenite,
Out.
Vanessa Red Hawk Thompson, here, Michael Linderman, Fremont Fellis, Daniel Blackfeather, William Marshall, Wayne Frederick, Eileen Schott, Martha Blue Thunder, called to be excused. She's sick. Sherry Wright Plank, Pam Kilsenwater, Raymond Coeagle,
Here.
Dara Ayat, here. Donna Hollowhorn Bear, okay, Donna just called, she's sick. And Dwight Spotted Toe.
Go.
8.
Try again at 10:30. If we don't have one at 10:30, we might have to try again next week. Maybe on Monday.
Eric, I forwarded you those minutes.
No, unless you send an email or something. Okay, I guess did it.
Yeah, you said just to get a hold of him and then he'll help me.
Okay. Yeah, we.
this is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster, and wear a mask. Thank you and stay safe.
Oh no, we got it. Should have it. I need this one off. Very good. 3, 6.
Jordan, Ron, your Russell Legal Bear.
Much day.
Deep breath.
Hey, welcome to English, Wayne Bearfield. All my people know me.
Michael Lunderman, Fremont College. Neil Blackfeather. William Marshall. Wayne Frederick.
All good.
Eileen Trott.
First time.
Martha Blue Thunder, called to be excused. Sherry Wright Plank.
Present.
Tom Kilsenwater.
Here.
Raymond Croigle. Ira Ayat. Donna Hobbelhorn Bear is sick. And Dwight Spotted Duck.
Oh.
Well, we have a quorum. Fremont, give an invocation, please.
se lo que já é a coca o pergunta a toca regina tá ya musta no chica lá da chega aquele apeto que toda o rio que ele apeto que we chose on you mas teve nisso lá todo o caixa e nada é apeto que ele na o cheio chelo ou me dá que as
We have the sergeant at arms gone today, so we need to appoint Brianna as the acting sergeant at arms. We get a motion to do that. Wayne, second by Steve, question by Ray.
That was compensation.
With compensation. All in favor? Online, done. White. Opposed?
out,
Was it for sure?
Okay, last week we left off on communities. We had listened to Oak Creek Community. We had some concerns, I guess. And I think we have some resolutions that I think need to be presented by a couple communities here. So is there any business for communities? Any resolutions for communities, any businesses, motions?
There's two under community.
Russell?
yeah. I don't have any resolution. You have to look at it. You have to say what's done up the street a little. We just had some dialogue going outside, and apparently a tribal member asked you to draft a letter of support for a young man that's facing some time, I guess. So if you have copies of those, that request, you send it over to our in-house attorney, and what we want to do is to send it off to the lawyers in Rapid City.
Okay.
You
There was a,
Can you do that? Because I don't want to get into the whole conversation.
well, I'd rather you not. It was my request, so Russell, it was my request. So it was her request to me, so I'd rather you not get involved in it.
Are you gonna do that support?
Well, I told her I would. She told me she didn't need it anymore, so.
I'm assuming there's a court hearing today, and that's why you're adamant about getting a letter of support. So are you gonna send it to
Well,
them?
I told her I would do it, and she told me she didn't want it done. That was her answer before she went out of here, so.
Yeah, it does, so do I need to make this into a motion?
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion that we have our in-house draft a letter of support for the gentleman. I'm not going to need to draft one and send it to the attorney. City, email it.
Okay. Motion by Russell. Need a second? Wayne? Steve, question? All in favor?
The motion.
Draft a letter for individual tribal member and send it to a lawyer in Rapid City.
Stan, mute your phone.
This is Dwight.
Russell made a motion, who's second? Wait.
Wayne, and then question by Steve. And Dwight asked what the motion was, so you want to repeat the motion, please?
Motion to have the in-house attorney draft a letter of support for a young man and email it to a lawyer in Rapid City immediately.
Okay. All in favor? Online, Stan? Dwight? Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried. 10-02. Any other community business?
Are we doing, Mr. Chair, are we doing this by community, where the communities are opposing the youth complex, or does it stand on the decision that council has already made?
I think you guys, I guess I don't understand the question, Wayne.
I just got handed that Oak Creek Communities has a resolution to oppose remember that all the communities circulated this resolution?
I think it was a request from the community. I think you have to probably bring it forward for them. Is that what you, okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it has a number. 2022-72. What committee would it with?
The resolution? They don't have to go through committee, they can bring them on.
Okay.
Is it did it give them a number?
Yep, because it came in enough time and it has minutes attached. Run. Yeah.
You read why didn't we for the record?
Yeah. Okay. Wayne, you want to bring it on for approval?
Yep.
Motion
Move to
to,
approve.
motion to approve 2022-72. Need a second. Steve, go ahead. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. The fourth whereas the Oak Creek Community. Stanley, can you hit mute on your phone? Whereas Oak Creek Community recommends the tribal council and administration to allows communities the opportunity and the decision on whether to have one centralized youth center, and whereas the Oak Creek Community recommends tribal council or the CARES Act ARPA committee reconsider and rescind any prior action pertaining to centralized youth center until such time as all communities have had the opportunity to provide input. And whereas the Oak Creek community has concerns on the transportation, bullying of the students, if the youth, if the tribe provides transportation and the distance of time travel for many of our youth, and whereas the Oak Creek community recommends tribal council, CARES Act, ARPA committee develop a plan to allow each individual community the opportunity to develop a plan for a youth center or structure for youth within their respective communities with the approval of tribal council. And therefore be it resolved, the Oak Creek community directs its council representative to present and support Oak Creek Community Resolution 22-01 and request a roll call vote of tribal council. And the following community resolution was presented at a duly called meeting on February 8th, 2022, and it was passed by a vote of 8 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 not voting. Signed by the Secretary of the Community and the chairperson.
Any discussion or questions? Comments? Pam?
I have one question. Did the, excuse me, good morning, council administration. What's the, resolution number for this? Because I know this is the community's resolution number. What's our resolution?
No, it was when they submit it, they give it a number from here, so it is a number from,
So this is the
yeah,
tribe's
yeah,
resolution
yeah.
number? Okay, thank you.
Okay, no more questions or discussion, we'll call for the question.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Eileen.
Oh, I just wanted to say I know Parmley had a resolution, but since I'm not there, then they weren't able to give it to me. But I just wanted to let you know Parmley and some other communities. Maybe you said that, but I was just able to get on. I apologize for being late here, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know that Parmley and I guess other communities, but I would like to speak for Parmley, has a resolution also in support of the communities getting some a youth center in and opposed against the youth center being
Formerly
the
opposing the
large.
centralized youth center, but they want
Yes.
their own youth center.
Yes, there it is. Thank you.
Vanessa?
Good morning, admin and colleagues. We also have the same, also have a resolution, but I didn't get it from the chairman. For the same thing.
Okay. Okay, no more questions on it. We'll call for the question. Vanessa? All in favor? Roll call. Roll call. Is that what they requested?
Gordon Ron. Russell Eaglebear. Steve Ray. Stanley Woodenite. Vanessa Red Hawk Thompson.
Yes.
Micah's absent. Fremont Fallis.
Yes.
Tennille Blackfeather.
Here.
So are we gonna do a roll call 20 times?
Yep, I guess we are. They
Tennille.
requested.
Here.
Yes or no?
Yes or no, we're voting on Oak Creek resolution to not have to support a youth center in the communities.
Not voting.
Will Marshall Hughes. Wayne Fredericks.
Not voting, it's out of order.
Eileen Schott.
Yes.
Martha Blue Thunder.
We've already.
Sherry Wright Plank.
No.
Pam Pilsenwater.
Yes.
Raymond Corrigal. Dara Ayat.
Yes.
Donna Hollenberg. Dwight Spotted Hub. Eight yes. Three no. Two abstain.
Madam Secretary, Dwight, not online.
Dwight.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Are you voting for the resolution?
I didn't even hear the resolution.
Opposed? Not voting.
It's 8, 3, 2, and 7.
2 and 7.
Motion carried.
Motion carried, I guess. Okay,
What was that number again? 8-3?
8 yes, 3 no, 2 abstained, and 7 absent.
okay, we have one second. We have a Parmley resolution, and it sounds like, Eileen, you want us to bring this on at another time?
Mike, please.
Okay, Eileen's gonna bring your resolution on, from your community.
Pam's gonna bring on.
Pam's gonna bring it on.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is all the copies right here. Okay. Sharon, did you have a question, comment?
I wanted to say for the record, last night at the Rosebud Community Meeting, Rosebud Community is for the youth center. And our community wants us to move forward with developing the youth center without the ARPA funding. So that was my directive for my community. So those communities that are here that don't want to be involved in a centralized youth center, we can definitely not include them if that's what they want. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Eileen.
So I don't believe that the issue is if who's going to participate in this youth center. It's would be majority rules that the youth would want, the communities would want their own youth centers due to, and they did list their reasoning. And so I don't think this got defeated once, and here it's back, and it still seems like it's on the table. Everyone can participate in it or not. That's not even where it's at now. It already got defeated. It's already not going to be done. And now we're, as the community chairs, the communities themselves are voicing their opinion that they want a center in their communities for the youth. Then that should be the issue now, because the other issue should be a dead issue now. But why are we even saying that we could have this youth center for those who want it? So, you know, these communities that want it probably could put their money in together and do something. But, you know, a lot of the communities want their own youth centers so they can have their own children in that community, youth, utilize that place instead of going elsewhere. So I just like to say that. Thank you.
Can I respond?
Go ahead, Chair.
Thank you, Eileen. That's the plan. Those of us that are wanting a centralized youth center, we're going to move forward and develop the 501c3 like the original resolution from 2016 was, states. So we're going to move forward with that, and whatever communities want to do their own thing, you know, feel free to do that. But those of us that want the centralized, we're going to come together and do that. Thank you.
Okay. Pam, you want to bring this on? The community resolution from Parmalee.
Yeah, I can. I'll start with the,
Approve.
motion to approve resolution 2022-73.
The second. Ray.
Whereas, let's see. I'll start with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth whereas. Whereas the Parmalee community is a community organization as contemplated by Article 5 under the RST Constitution and bylaws and is a political subdivision of the tribe. Whereas the Parmalee community desires, as of March 23rd, 2021, to research and explore its options regarding fundraising for the community as a 7871 nonprofit organization or other nonprofit vehicle. And therefore be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby agree to allow and encourage Parmalee community to explore its options regarding fundraising for the community as a 787 nonprofit organization and other nonprofit vehicle. I thought this was,
They want to create a nonprofit.
Any questions, discussion? Eileen, do you have any comments?
This is the resolution that Tim Knoyer is bringing. It came to economic development and was passed through there, and they're trying to start a
Nonprofit.
yes, for Parmalee, so that they can start some type of revenue income for the community and to benefit the community in some projects that they had wanting to start here. So this is the first step of it, is to get this nonprofit approved. They had went through the proper channels of going to the economic development and then on to council. So Tim Knoyer is with this group that is heading this up for the nonprofit. Thank you.
Any more questions, discussion? Pam?
I guess, I don't know, maybe our attorney can kind of give me some guidance, but I keep saying this and, I don't know if, there's anything after the fact, but I understand that these communities are created by boundaries for voting purposes. That's my understanding, correct? So when communities want to go off on their own and do a 501c3, the 787, aren't they still a part of the tribe? And isn't it the tribe that already carries those 501c3s and all of that? Because either way, a community still has to apply for those services as the Rosebud Sioux tribe. So how does that?
Go ahead, Eric.
Good morning, Council. I overheard the discussion and I thought I'd better come in. Anyone can form a nonprofit corporation, any members of the community, any members of different communities. But if it's organized as a 501c3 for nonprofit purposes under the IRS code 501c3, then it's a separate corporation from the tribe. But that also means that it won't be entitled to the immunity of the tribe when it comes to its obligations or getting sued and so on. It won't be a tribal entity. It'll be an entity just like any other private or public corporation. So it doesn't, and it's not under the umbrella of the tribe because it's not formed under as a tribal corporation. There's different requirements for a tribal corporation. They have to be either a board where the majority of the board of directors are tribal council members or appointed by the tribal council. In order for that corporation to have be entitled to the tribe's immunity from suit and all those other protections that the tribal government has, that corporation as a private one wouldn't have. So does that answer your question?
Not really, because when you look at how our tribe is built, on a land base. And I understand that, anyone can file or apply for a 501c3 and whatnot, but, these lands, they belong to the entire tribal membership. And these communities are made off of boundaries that were created by resolution for voting purposes only. That's what they were created off of. Nowhere after that I have found does it say that these communities as individual communities, that they should be branching off and creating those types of things, because you cannot as a tribe be able to say anything on that. I mean, the council itself can create stuff, but the Constitution anyway just states that the tribe is one. We are one. And those boundaries are just made for voting purposes. It's not to be able for people to go off and create businesses on their own within. I mean, because these seats change
that
all
part
the
is
time.
right. You're correct, because these nonprofits, they can't, because they say they're from the community, doesn't mean they're entitled to use their community boundaries or assets or leases or any land within the community as part of that nonprofit's property or assets or anything they can they can pledge as collateral to obtain a loan. Those communities can't do that without the permission of the tribe. So that would be like, essentially, that nonprofit corporation would be the same as a non-Indian entity if it's not a tribal corporation. And the Constitution prevents the tribe from assigning tribal lands to any entity that's a person that's a non-Indian, or an entity that's composed of non-Indians. And since a corporation is a nonprofit, even if it does have tribal members, it still couldn't have that asset assigned to them under the Constitution as a community. If it'd have to stay within the confines of tribal law, and it couldn't act along those lines as a nonprofit and be able to use those assets of the community. That's right, basically, is what you're saying. That's correct.
Because if you look at it, either way, when these applications are sent off to the state or whoever we're getting this permission from, they still mention the Rosebud Sioux tribe. They still have to mention that in there, because they're not, it's not a community that is a deeded land to be able, in its own name, to be able to submit to the state or whoever the 501c3 comes from.
Actually, 7871
Is what?
It's not 501c3, it's a 7871 nonprofit.
7871 nonprofit
Robert, the doctor's coming. Robert.
is different from a 501c3, as what it does is it acknowledges tribal local governments and underneath tribal governments for tax-free status.
I know, but see, that's why I'm saying
So communities, we acknowledge them in our constitution as individual tribal governments, almost like they're sub-governments. So that's why, so in this instance, they're asking to get a 501c3 for their community, basically, their government. And then they have to set up, they got to set up a board, they have to, but we're acknowledging that it's okay for them to do so. But they take on, they do not, like a 501c3 does not enjoy sovereign immunity. They will be prosecuted if anything goes wrong.
And this is almost like the carts before the horse. I like to see their documents on how they intend to incorporate before you give them permission to state that they're part of the tribe.
He submitted that to the record for Econ Dev.
Yeah, but I haven't seen that.
and all that.
And the other thing with the nonprofit status is those are granted by the IRS, not by the state. So that's where they would apply for that. And normally and I used to work with nonprofits when I worked at Dakota Plains Legal Aid. They would submit their articles for temporary approval to the IRS, and then they would submit, I can't remember if it was 3 or 5 years. I think it was 3 years of returns. So they have to be in existence under their temporary status. In order to be granted permanent status, they'd have to show that through the filing of their tax returns that they were acting as a nonprofit. But that's a different question than whether or not the tribe should give them permission to, as a tribal or tribally sanctioned, I assume, corporation. I like to see their articles and their documents before, and they should go through governmental affairs too before you give them permission to say, well, we give you our blessing and the community can be a nonprofit. I like to see the documents first. So.
Okay, Russell had his hand up. Russell?
Yeah, just reading this resolution, and I'm not familiar with the Internal Revenue Code 7871. But if you read the whereas, the Farm League community desired March 23rd, 2021 to research and explore its option regarding fundraising for the community as a 7871 nonprofit organization or other nonprofit vehicle Therefore, be resolved that the Rosebud Sioux does hereby agree to allow and encourage the Parmley community to explore its options regarding fundraising for the community as a 7871 nonprofit organization or other nonprofit vehicles. So what they're asking for is this kind of initial,
Blessing, yeah.
yeah, you know, and it's not like, you know, I don't even see a 501c status into this language. And now our attorney's saying, well, I want to see all these documents. I mean, they're just now initially taking a step to explore the option, you know, and that's what they're asking for in this resolution. And once they gather that, or maybe we'll have our in-house attorney get all the documents together for them. I mean, those are possibilities. So I'm, you know, if they want to take a step forward in that arena, then allow them to. All they're doing is they're exploring. Read those resolutions. You know?
It's still pretty broad, and just not to interrupt, but I still think there should be some reservation that any of those final documents be subject to review by governmental affairs and council for final approval. And that's not in the resolution, so.
Well, maybe you as an attorney, maybe you can do this morning for them. You know,
Well,
communities
I'm
don't have the
pretty busy.
resources.
You know, once I started working for one community, that's 20 communities I'll have to work for.
You do work for the Rosebud Sioux tribe,
Right.
and what does it comprise of? It comprises of all the 20 communities. That's who we represent,
Okay,
and you are an employee of the Rosebud Sioux
Right.
tribe.
So that's just another budget sheet that I'll have to address. Right now, I'm
Chair-
pretty well busy doing this stuff about the community.
Chairman, I understand where my colleague, Councilman Engelberg, is coming from, but my questions that I have are regarding the tribe as a whole, because that's how we are stated as in the Constitution. We are one. And I just brought up the boundary part is just for voting purposes only. The reason why I brought up the 501c3 was because colleague Plank had said that Rosebud was going to continue on with applying for their 501c3. So I just wanted to have some discussion on this because I've never heard of a 787 or 7871, whatever it is. I've never heard of it, and I would like to have information on it, what it entails, and what are the legalities of it. I just don't want our tribe to be giving out these things for communities to do this when our Constitution says otherwise, because we are still one. We are not individual entities of the tribe itself. The Constitution does say we are one. So I'm just trying to clarify, are these things legal to do? Are we going against something? Those sorts of things should be looked at and should be taken care of before we go and allow communities to do stuff like this. Like our attorney said, went through governmental affairs. He should have been included in what they're trying to do. But again, that goes back to certain offices within the tribe. There should be somebody that should be within the tribe that should be looking at all of this stuff and making sure that we are under the right path of what each community is trying to do. Now, the way I see it, and I hate saying that, but there's an ordinance for the Attorney General, and that's what that person's contract is that ordinance. They have to follow that ordinance. And so under that ordinance, it does state that they're supposed to be reviewing this stuff to make sure that we are not violating any ordinances. So I think at some point, somewhere along the committee lines, these sorts of things need to go to them committees, and the Attorney General needs to review them to make sure that before they get here, that they're not violating anything.
All right, Sheriff.
Thank you. Just to let everybody know that Rosebud Community already has a 501c3, and they've had a 501c3 for years. The 501c3 that I spoke to earlier is something new that we're going to develop that is going to be for the youth. And anybody can start a 501c3. I believe Parmalee is coming here. When they came to economic development, I was online that day, but I do remember them saying that they were just here requesting our support, because anytime anyone wants to use Rosebud Sioux Tribe's name or a community name or Sichangu in their business, they have to get permission from the tribe if they're going to be soliciting funds or submitting grants. So I think this is a really good thing. I support our communities to be self-sustainable. They used to be at one time whenever we had bingo, and they all had bingo, but with the casino coming through and taking a lot of the profits away from the communities, that's where the communities are getting their allocations, from my understanding. And if a community wants to take the initiative to go into business and establish this status under the IRS code 501c3, I think we as a council should support them. I don't think that it would necessarily be any violation, because it would just be, they would have their own separate EIN number, and it would just give them the ability to be self-sustaining and help their community members. So, thank you.
Chairman, before we continue on, I'd just like to say that I'm not opposed to this. I'm not. I don't disagree. I believe that, yes, our communities do need to strive and be able to go further with what's going on right now, which is us being the central area for money disbursement for each community. Each community should have the opportunity for economic development. All I'm saying here is that I just don't want communities to be applying for this stuff and it's not even supposed to be happening, is all I'm saying. So with that, if anybody wants to question, they can go ahead and question. I just brought on Parmalee's. Oh, yeah.
I'll question for the vote. And as chairman of the Econ Dev Committee, we did, and my committee is very proactive as well as literate. And so when we looked it up, it directly states political subdivisions of any federally recognized tribe do qualify for a 7871 status. I mean, we could have sent that to the AG, but it's pretty cut and dry right there. I mean,
Russell, was you calling for the question or did you?
No,
I'm calling for the question.
I was trying to get their attention before he spoke up, but, I just talked to them, and what Parmalee's trying to do is research and explore. And then, therefore, be resolved, same language. And so I would amend it to have the community work with our attorney, in-house attorney, to do the research and exploring. Add that to our resolution so that, we're aware of what is taking place through our attorney.
So there's another whereas where the in-house attorney would be
Helping the Parmalee community
Helping
do the research and explore options.
assist Parmalee community in exploring and researching the 7871 nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
Add that to the.
Is that all right, Eileen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions or comments?
Tim, do you have any?
Can I give a brief explanation, please?
I'll give the floor.
I was just driving by and I happened to hear it on the radio. I didn't even know this was agreed on the floor, so.
This one?
Start all over.
Okay. Yeah, well, let me start again. Hami Dakiape. I was driving through Rosebud and I heard that on the radio that was on the floor, and I didn't even know it was going to be happening, so I'm glad I did. So, but what we're trying to do at Parmalee is that, you know, I'm getting old and I wanted to do something for my community before I pass on in this world. And I happened to run into this person a few years ago that works with tribes, setting up 7871s and accepting donations to help out. So I thought that that would be a good thing for us to do here in my community. And what this resolution is just asking for permission for us to look into it and to proceed. And as Wayne, when we met with the committee, that language was supposed to be incorporated into this resolution. I talked with Nicole, and it didn't get included in it when it got here, but that was to be included in it to work with Eric and the Attorney General before we come back to seek permission to proceed farther. So that's all this resolution is just, I want to be transparent so they know that what we're doing out here, we're not going to use the land base for loans or anything like that. We're just looking for donations to help the community out. So if you have any questions for me, I can sure answer them now. So.
Council, do you have anything for Tim? Vera?
Good morning, Council. Good morning, Oyate. Good morning, Mr. Conoyer. So when you set up a 7871, essentially you'll be, your group from Parmalee will be like the state then, right? You guys would be treated like that by the IRS as your own little state.
Of sub-government, yeah, of the tribe.
All right, so then once you do that, then you guys have to set a pretty firm board up, right?
Yes.
My mother was, when she put down the hog farm, they had to start their own 501c. And it was comprised of a board that was pretty tight, you know, got to be on the ball or else IRS can come after you.
Right.
So the way I'm listening to the attorney, I'm listening to Council Lady Wright, listening to Pamela speak about this. She's talking about the Makota. Our land is all we have to stand on here. So once you guys do this and it gets incorporated, and I'm happy that you guys are trying to find ways to supplement your community. But once it does, and you guys have problems that arise, then how will that be handled? Have you guys looked at everything from around? Because these are pretty big obstacles, and once the IRS gets involved, then, you know, you're gonna have to.
Yeah, there will be reporting requirements.
Yes.
Yes.
So, with the attorney's help, you know, I'd really like to see you guys get it all in a good way, you know? I guess Rosebud community has theirs going as well. So maybe you can take tips from them. I don't know who started theirs, but I do know that that board, that commission that you guys need has to be firm. It has to be solid. It has to be comprised of individuals who are willing to take that step, that Parmalee community, that Rosebud community, that the Rosebud Sioux tribe is willing to make. So we need good, honest, dependable individuals. And I'm in support of new steps. Shoot, we have buildings over in White River that I would like our communities to start a medical marijuana, you know, place. There's so many different types of infrastructure that this tribe could be doing, but we don't. Instead, it comes here and it bounces back every time. You know, we have an IRA set of government that sets precedents here. You know, we have a Wichasha Yatkapika named Victor Duville. Nobody ever brings him in to ask him how he feels about this. Every other successful sovereign nation out there has a board of elders that directs them. Here, we just have egos that go back and forth. They get chuzeka sometimes. Nothing is ever thought out carefully. So, Mr. Conoyer, thank you for coming, swinging through, and thank you for proposing this and getting and networking around with your friends, because you see something greater than we do here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. I guarantee you that I'm most sincere and I don't want this to fail, so I'll do everything I can to help the community make this a success. But like I say, we're not in this to utilize community or tribal assets. We are just trying to bring in funding for the tribe, that's all. We're not interested in loans or anything like that. So.
Thank you, Tim.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
And our attorney went out.
Oh, by the way, I did work with the Attorney General in setting this resolution up, so he was already researching some of it. And I did sit down with Eric, and we need to have an appointment with him, but I wanted to get this passed, so you know that what we're doing is out there, it's transparent, we're just getting your permission to proceed, and all this is.
Okay, and now it sounds like I'm just attacking this, but I'm not. Under the Constitution, under Article 8, Section 7, it says, "No member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe may use or occupy tribal land except under assignment or lease." Now, it goes back to communities again. Communities are boundaries made for voting purposes only. So, I don't know if these communities are going through the process of, making their boundaries assignments, and the council passing them. But those boundaries were just made for voting purposes. I just wanted to state that, but if anybody wants to call for the question for this resolution, may do so. I'm just reading this in for Parmley, and as a rep, I'm just asking my questions.
I'm sure, and Tim, if you guys are working with Eric and the Attorney General, all that stuff will probably surface, be talked about again. So, thank you, Pam, for reminding everybody about that. Is there any more discussion? We'll call for the question. Wayne Fredericks, all in favor? Online. Dwight.
Eileen, yes.
Stan, yeah.
Opposed? Not voting?
1300.
1500. Motion carried. All right. Thank you, Tim, for coming in.
Thank you, council.
Good day.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Tim.
So there's a storm supposed to hit Denver? Oh, is this weekend too? Oh, is that what she was there for?
Yeah.
Well, that really sucks. Wonder if
For me, that's why there's a key.
Is there any more business for the
Yeah. My sister, she doesn't.
If not, we'll move on our agenda, which is the Attorney General. Is there anything there we need to deal with?
Yep.
Attorney General, any business? If not, we'll move into budget and finance. Pamela.
Hey, I guess I'm vice and the chairman. Not gonna be here for a bit. I need a motion to reconsider the amendment. That's really annoying. Can somebody ask that? God, mute your phone.
Stanley, can you
mute? I did, but my button's not acting up.
Need a motion to reconsider tribes by loss of line item
by
$116, increasing the election board budget by $6,916.76 for the cost of the special election of the Soldier Creek Council representative seat, bringing the election board budget total to $23,616.76. That's my motion.
You're amending the election board budget, right?
Yep.
Is there a second? Second. Chair. Is there any discussion? If not, Wayne wants to question. All in favor? Online. Eileen.
Yes.
Dan.
Oh,
Dwight, are you still on? No. 12 in favor? Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
He's always doing
Pam, you have more business.
Yep.
You even had to approach the desk first.
Huh?
I said you even had to approach the desk first before you brought it on.
Yeah.
That's it?
A motion for emergency legislation.
Need a number?
Which one?
I'm gonna do that one, you had me X out that one, whereas,
I don't have a copy.
For the training?
no, for that home repair for the, elderly program.
78.
78?
Okay. Oh, you're fine. 78.
Pam, is that the one that has Kiva Institute on it?
No.
No?
She just not passed it, Willie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 78. Supposed to be.
What was the number again?
78.
78. Emergency legislation, Pam has moved. Is there a second? Steve, question? Dira? All in favor? Eileen?
Yes.
Stan?
oh,
Who else is on? That's it? Dwight went off?
Yep.
Okay.
You must have bad reception here.
Opposed? Not voting? No. Motion to approve, Pam.
Motion to approve resolution 2022-78.
Need a second. Dira.
I will start with the fourth whereas. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe has the authority to employ independent contractors pursuant to the RST Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual, Employment Classification A, subsection 15, Contractors Ordinance 2020-10 and RST Resolution number 2020-175. Whereas the procurement policy requires purchases of 10,000 and over requires tribal council approval. Therefore, be it resolved that the independent contract be hired sole source as he possesses unique experience in this area of work to be completed and Indian preferences in effect. Be it also resolved that the independent contract shall be for a term February 1, 2022, ending on September 30th, 2022, or when the work is completed, the contract may be terminated by one or both parties by written notification in writing, and be it also resolved that in addition to the terms of the contract, The total contract amount shall not exceed $10,000 without approval of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council, and payment for services shall be subject to availability of funds. Be it also resolved that the president of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe is authorized and directed to sign and execute the RST Finance and Treasury Department independent contract. I forgot to say that, that the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth whereas was to be stricken from the resolution. My bad. I got fired up.
So we're removing that one?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll scratch that, the $10,000 one, right?
Yep.
Okay, motion's on the floor with a second. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we will call for the question. Or, yeah,
Yeah,
question. Sorry. Someone to question? Anyone? Jordan. All in favor, raise your hand, please. Eileen?
Eileen?
All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Stanley?
Stanley? Oh.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Not voting?
Thank you. Motion to reconsider and amend resolution 2022-22.
That's the Kiva Institute one?
Yep. And if you guys remember, before Kiva Institute, it was a different place that was, that came, I can't remember what they were, who it was. Huh? Oh, Falmouth, yeah. So all the whereas where Falmouth's name was in there, we just took it out and put Kiva in there, and it's for payment purposes. So do I read it in, or
No, you just explained it, so it's a motion to reconsider and amend. So do you have a second? Is there any discussion?
Who seconded it? Nobody seconded it.
Second by Jordan. Question by Steve? Okay, all in favor? Online, Eileen?
Yes. Yes.
Stan?
Oh.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried. Okay, were you guys on budget and finance?
Yeah.
is there any more budget and finance up there? Are you sure?
There's two to reconsider and amend, and 3 emergency legislations, that says. To have it up there. Brianne, there's a resolution up there, to have a special, our meeting up at Water Resources, conference room. Can you get that one and hand it out? We probably should do it before lunch. We might lose our quorum, so. Yeah.
Bring it on under budget and finance, or?
Yeah.
I was just teasing that I was eager to read, but.
You can read this one.
Huh?
You can read this one.
Yeah.
How much? What is it? 79.
House board ones? I don't even have my thing with me.
Okay, we need a motion for emergency legislation.
Motion for emergency legislation.
You second, Ray. Question by Chair. Number is 79. All in favor, bring it on as emergency legislation. Online, Stan?
Online, Stan? Oh.
Eileen?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed?
Opposed?
I'm voting.
Motion to approve resolution 2022-79.
Second by Ray. Go ahead.
I'll start with the fourth whereas. Whereas the Constitution and bylaws of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe, Article 5, meetings of council, provides that special meetings of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council shall be called by a majority of the council in writing or by the tribal president in writing with at least 3 days' notice in either case. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council ordinance to implement the bylaws of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe's Constitution, Section 8A, meetings of the tribal council states regular meetings shall be held once a month on days and at places designated by resolution of the tribal council. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council has its regularly scheduled for Rosebud Casino reports and other matters on March 23rd, 2022, beginning at 10 a.m. But scheduling issues have resulted in the unavailability of the RST Tribal Council chambers. Therefore, be it resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribe hereby designates the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Water Resources Conference Room for the March monthly casino report and other matters, March 23rd, 2022, beginning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And be it further resolved that the majority of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council also resolves to waive the rule requiring 3-day notice in writing prior to the scheduling of a special meeting of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council as provided in RST Ordinance Number 8604, Ordinance to implement the Constitution and bylaws of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council, Section 8B.
Any discussion? This is for next week, on the 23rd. We were gonna have it at the casino, but the casino has a training out there that day, so we decided to have it up at the water resource. And they're having the election, people set up in here on the 23rd, so. Okay.
Can I ask something?
What, Eileen?
If it's at Water Resources, will they be able to still do the link for Zoom?
Yeah, they will, yes.
Okay, thank you.
What's that, 79, yeah. Any more discussion?
I had one question. How come that be it further resolved? How come that talks about 3-day notice? How come we have to have that inside there?
I was wondering the same thing. Eric drafted it, so we don't have to do it. She's just quoting the ordinance, I think.
Okay.
Okay, question by Sheriff. All in favor? Online, Stan?
Oh.
Eileen?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried. Okay, online, can you remember to mute your phones? It gives that echo back. We have any other business for budget and finance? Now we'll go on to the next CPA. Economic development has one resolution, it says on your.
Yeah, this is tabled until, Lake won't.
Okay, we'll pick it back up. Okay, anything else for economic development?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Education Committee, it says 14 regular and 2 to reconsider and amend.
You want half, how are you gonna get the other half? Yeah, Don was the chair. Mike was vice. Yeah.
Sure, we can take 10. Okay, all right. Let's take 10 before we go into.
This is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster, and wear a mask. Thank you and stay safe.
Changu yate ampeti washte. Lehe wahachunka matola kote machiapi. English, Wayne Bearshield. Where all my people know me as Sioux Bear. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hemp Commission this morning, today. The Hemp Commission is accepting license, growers license applications. You have to go to rosebudhemp.org to get the application, rosebudhemp.org. It has a listing of all the commissioners, the applications, the fees, the steps that you have to go through. The second part of this PSA is to inform all you retailers out there that are selling hemp products. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe does have a retailer's license for hemp products. Please go to rosebudhemp.org to get this information. It was installed last year and came into effect this year. So if you are selling hemp products of any kind, please go to rosebudhemp.org and get your retailer's application filled out, sent in with the applicable fees and everything, and we can get you approved and you can have a license from the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Hemp Commission hanging on your wall, making sure you are legal. Once again, pay attention to these two PSAs. Thank you from the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Hemp Commission. Ampetu Ashte Yuhapo. Aho.
Remember who's gonna present the resolutions?
Oh, they can lie.
Ken, okay. Gordon? Motion to approve the number 2022-57. Second by Sheriff. Go ahead, readings for the record.
57?
Yeah.
Start at the fourth whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Constitution and bylaws preamble states it is to promote the welfare of the present generation and our posterity in education and industry. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe considers children okay as a sacred who grow best within when their identities, cultures, and languages are affirmed and honored. And whereas children learn best in environments where their identities, cultures, and language are affirmed and honored in classrooms with educators prioritizing healthy relationships. And whereas children engage best in classroom content when it is relatable to their current life and past events that contribute into shaping it as such. And students are able to understand and navigate complex, nuanced events with the help of skilled, caring adults who focus on said depth of knowledge. Whereas concepts such as social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion are hallmarks of people treating each other well with respect and honor rather than being divisive. Whereas the critical race theory, CRT, refers to an academic concept brought forward some 40 years ago by legal experts Derek Bell, Kimberly Crenshaw, Richard Delgado, and other scholars. And whereas critical race theory refers to systematic oppression built into systems such as law, criminal justice, underfunding of schools with students of color, as well as disciplining of students of color in segregated housing policies that continue to this day and is taught in graduate programs in law school. And whereas the governor of South Dakota and governors and legislators across the country are introducing bill banning critical race theory from being taught in K-12 settings, even though it is not being taught. Whereas the legislature of South Dakota has introduced HB 1337 to ban the teaching of CRT in grades K through 12, even though CRT is not defined in the bill, nor has the SV Department of Education shared definition. Whereas HB 1337 will serve to isolate Native and Indigenous youth as well as other children from each other by not approaching discussions of race, racism, theory, history, honestly, with truth and compassion, where we learn from our mistakes and can find points of reality in spite of them. Whereas HB 1337 will prevent educators from teaching the full history of these lands and peoples, intimidating teachers from sharing their well-known content and possibly causing teachers to resign in face of South Dakota indoctrination. And whereas losing educators due to a state-induced hostile work environment and harming Wakeza and other children is the opposite of helping children learn and grow in a safe environment and the opposite of practices in education. Therefore, be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council is against HB 1337 and acts to protect elementary and secondary students from political indoctrination with its stance against children's identity, culture, and language, the removal of safety in the classroom for educators and students alike, the discrimination of an accurate accounting of the history lived in Oshkosh-Sakowee land, and exercises its constitutional authority to state that the application of HB 1012 would be damaging to the Oshkosh-Sakowee people and all South Dakotans, and demands that content and pedagogies focus on culturally sustaining education and are not removed from the classroom environment due to them being mislabeled as CRT. and for the good of the Sioux Lakota people, those Fifty Shakaway, and all young people and families of South Dakota.
Okay, Willie has a question. Comment?
In that, therefore, it be resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council is against, I think it should say opposed to, take that word against out of there.
Therefore, be it resolved.
Yeah,
Opposes, yeah.
just strike the word against and put opposes the bill.
Any more discussion, comments? Ray?
The comment, I think this particular bill got referred to the 41st legislative day, so.
Yeah, I think it was shot down.
Shot down, yeah.
This is supposed to come in February.
We'll still have it on record that we oppose it, so it's good to have it. Any other discussion? If not, need a question. Steve? All in favor? Online staff?
Online staff? Oh,
Tennille?
yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried. Need a motion to approve, reconsider and amend, I guess.
That's supposed to be 2021.
It's supposed to be 2021?
Yeah.
Okay.
2021, yeah. It's supposed to be 2021.
Next resolution, yeah.
232.
So the resolution number is supposed to be 2021-232. It was just to be reconsidered and amended. Motion by Jordan to reconsider and amend. Second by Ray. Go ahead.
So I think the 6 whereas is, has to do with the $1,000 sign-on bonuses that they were wanting to review. The sign-on bonuses will be processed after the completion of satisfactory 90-day probation period and not the current 60-day of hire, is what they're changing
Okay, so it's 90 days instead of 60. Okay.
for their bonuses.
Any other questions, comments?
$1,000 sign-on bonuses will be
Pam?
processed after completion of satisfactory 90 days. So inside the personnel policies and procedures of Head Start and Early Head Start, they incorporated into their policies of $1,000 cash incentive for employment, right? Beginning on September 2021. And I'm trying to see. Or are they incorporating all these new amendments to their personnel policies? It's just the only thing that, at the meeting that they were wanting to change was this. It was initially at 60 days, and they're wanting to push it back to 90 days. Well, because if you read that, whereas it says, whereas Sichongu Lakota Oyate Head Start, Early Head Start is requesting approval of amendments in program personnel policies and procedures that were adopted in 1991. All amendments were approved by the Policy Council and the Tribal Council, and whereas the amendments made include, and then it has all these check marks. So I think they're including all of these amendments to be made to their policy and procedures. That's the way I understand it. I thought the last time when we approved it the first time, it was already, all these were on there. Because remember, they brought it the first time a couple months back, and then we approved it, and all of these were on there. So these are all the people that are. That should have been what was in the resolution, but like I said, that whereas makes it sound like all these need to be amended in their policies and procedures. Isn't it, that's what it sound like to anybody else? Am I the only one that reads it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, because the whereas may just mean,
On the 2, 4, 5th whereas, it says Sichunga Lakota Yate is requesting approval of amendment and program personnel policy and procedures that were adopted in 1991. All amendments were approved by Policy Council and Tribal Council. So evidently they already did it, right?
Those ones were already approved, so
Yeah.
the airport be resolved is only for the $1,000 sign-on bonus will be processed after completion of a satisfactory 90-day probation period.
So we're making that amendment right now.
Yeah, just for
Okay.
that.
Okay.
These ones already came, the amendments already came. She just put that stuff in there, I think, for information.
Okay, any more discussion?
Call for the question?
Question by Sharon. All in favor? Online.
Yeah. Oh,
What else is on there? Tennille,
yes.
opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
And that's 2021-272.
Well, is this the one that this is another one that has to regards? Okay. Okay, motion to reconsider and amend 2022-272. It's gonna be at 2021, I guess. Second by Sheriff. Go ahead.
Whereas due to the workforce shortage currently occurring in the early childhood education workforce, the amendment includes $1,000 retention incentive for all staff employed in good standing at 6 months of employment and beyond. Whereas early childhood programs across the country are confronted with record staff shortages, a problem prior to and has increased tremendously by COVID-19 pandemic. Whereas the administration for children and families are urging programs to increase payments and benefits for ECE programs and develop strategies to provide and support, maintain our current workforce. Whereas the Head Start Policy Council approved the $1,000 retention incentive amendment on October 18, 2021. Sorry. Whereas the resolution amendment was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022 with a quorum present and has been recommended for approval to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, it be resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council fully supports and approves of Sichunga Lakota Oyate Head Start, Early Head Start Program Personnel Policies and Procedures Amendment to state $1,000 retention incentive will be awarded to Sichunga Lakota Oyate Head Start, Early Head Start staff employed in good standing at 6 months of employment and beyond.
Discussion. Russell.
The last resolution that we passed, with the language here, this will continue as a service allowed. Yet it doesn't have that language in particular. I know over the years, this person wouldn't allow bonuses or tribe would. So every time we do that for our employees, that can include it and all that. I would like that language to be in there because, we've got it as it is, down the road.
They'll still want it if they don't have the money.
And then the tribe would be strapped with, paying itself. That's kind of my recommendation.
Yeah, this budget allows, I guess we probably can put it in that last, therefore be it resolved. Okay. Any other discussion? Share.
Thank you. Does this include like all staff? Is this for all of their staff or is it just teachers?
For the employed at 6 months or beyond.
Okay, so
Everybody, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, need a question. Ray, All in favor? Online stat?
Online stat? Out.
Tennille?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Not voting?
Not voting.
Carried.
Online stat? Carried. Out.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
know, I just
You know, I
want to
just
say
wanna
something
say-
really quick.
Dan, can you mute your, thank you.
I know that bonuses always come up and people get really judgy and upset and angry because we're all poor and we all need help. But one thing that I've learned growing up here is I feel like we always penalize working people and they never get incentives. So I'm really grateful for Head Start doing this for our working class, because a lot of times, because we work, and all my life I've worked, you know, we get overlooked. Oh, they have a job, they don't need that, but working people need help too. So I think this is a really good thing and something that should be commended. Thank you.
Okay, bring on the next one. 2022-58. Motion to approve. Need a second? Steve, go ahead.
Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe is a grantee of Sioux Lakota Oyate Head Start, Early Head Start program. And whereas SLO HS EHS program requested sealed bids for a 4x4 pickup from November 8th, 2021 to November 19th, 2021, November 29th to December 3rd, 2021, and extended an advertisement from January 24th, 2022 to January 28th, 2022. Whereas the SLO HS EHS program received 0 bids after 1 month of advertising. Whereas the pickup purchase will be sole sourced to Beck Chevrolet in Sioux, South Dakota for a 2022 GMC Sierra 4-wheel drive at $64,865. The pickup will be assigned to Head Start Facilities Manager. And whereas the resolution was reviewed and passed at an RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, with a quorum present, and has been recommended to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved that Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve to purchase a 2022 GMC Sierra 4-wheel drive from Beck Chevrolet in Pierce, South Dakota, for $64,865.
Discussion. Need a question? Darrell, all in favor? Online staff?
Online staff? Out.
Tennille?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Not voting?
Voting.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve 2022.
2022.
Sure. Go ahead.
Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe is a grantee of Oyate Head Start, Early Head Start. And the Sichungu Lakota Oyate Head Start, Early Head Start requested sealed bids for 5 rear air conditioning units for 5 existing buses from November 8th, 2021 to November 19th, 2021, November 29th to December 3rd, 2021, and extended an advertisement from January 24th, 2022 to January 28th, 2022. Whereas 1 sealed bid was received from Foreman Bus Sales at $29,500, and SLO Head Start is recommending approval to purchase. And whereas the resolution was reviewed and passed at a RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022, with a quorum present, and has been recommended to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, it be resolved, the RST Tribal Council does hereby approve to purchase a 5 rear air conditioning units for 5 existing buses from Foreman Bus Sales at $29,500.
Discussion. Need a question? Steve? All in favor? Online?
Stan, how?
Neil?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
Motion to approve 2022-60.
Need a second? Sharon, go ahead.
Start at the third, whereas Rosebud Sioux Tribe is a grantee of Sichungu Lakota Oyate Head Start Early Head Start Program. Whereas the SLOHS EHS requested sealed bids to purchase 4 new sunshades from December 20th, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, January 10th, 2022 to January 14th, 2022, with an extended advertisement from January 4th, 24th, 2022 to January 28th, 2022. And whereas the 2 sealed bids were received from Lake Creek Development at $46,330.80 and American Playground at $27,375. Whereas the SLOHS EHS is recommending approval for American Playground at $27,375. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022 with a quorum present and has been recommended to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, it be resolved the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve the purchase of 4 early Head Start sunshades from American Playground at $27,375.
Discussion? Any question? Ray? All in favor? Online staff?
Oh.
Neil?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? All 0-0. Motion carried.
Motion to approve 2022-61.
Need a second? Ray? Go ahead.
Start at the fourth, whereas the SLOHS EHS requested sealed bids for water and sewer hookups at the new Parmalee Head Start Center from December 20th, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, January 10th, 2022 to January 14th, 2022, with an extended advertisement from January 24th, 2022 to January 28th, 2022. Whereas 2 sealed bids was received from Lake Creek Development at $19,475 and Antelope Creek Construction at $13,114.98. Whereas the Antelope Creek Construction at $13,114.98 is recommended for approval. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022 with a quorum present and has been recommended to RST Tribal Council for approval. Therefore, it be resolved the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve Antelope Creek Construction at $13,114.98 for Parmalee Head Start Center water and sewer hookups.
Discussion? Any question? Sharon? Did you second that, or is that was Ray?
Ray did.
Okay. All in favor? Online staff?
Oh.
Neil?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
For the next ones, I'll start at the 1, 2, 3, 4th. Whereas the SLOHS EHS has requested sealed bids.
Barry, you have to move to approve.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right, let's move this. I see that food over there, so.
Second by Jordan. Go ahead. You can.
Okay, from that 4th one, whereas the SLOHS EHS has requested sealed bids to remove and replace 3 metal doors and frames, trim and seal all the doors at the Long Warrior Dunham Head Start classroom from December 20th, 21 to December 31st, 21, January 10, 22 to January 14, 2022, with an extended advertisement from January 24 of 22 to January 28th of 22. Whereas 2 sealed bids were received from CNC Custom Concrete at $14,395.43 and Lake Creek Development at $11,666 and 67 cents. Whereas SLOHS EHS is recommending Lake Creek Development at $11,666 and 67 cents for approval. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, with quorum present and has been recommended for approval to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the RST Tribal Council does hereby approve Lake Creek Development at 11,666 and 67 cents to trim, seal, remove, and replace 3 metal doors at the Long Warrior Dunham Head Start Center in Norris.
Discussion. Any question? Steve? All in favor? Online? Online.
And yeah.
Neil?
Yeah. Yeah.
Opposed? Not voting? Not voting? Motion carried. Next one. Motion to approve.
Who seconded that? Or the chair?
During the motion to approve.
Okay, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2022-63.
The second, Jordan? Go ahead.
Okay, whereas the SLO, starting on the fourth whereas, the SLO HSEHS has requested sealed bids for playground equipment from November 8th of 21 to November 19th, 2021, November 29th, 2021 to December 3rd, 2021, with an extended advertisement from January 24th of 22 to January 28th of 2022. Whereas SLO HSEHS is recommending approval to purchase a dual-facing swing set from American Playground at $68,615 for St. Francis, Rosebud, Mission, and Parmalee Early Head Start Centers. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16th, with a quorum present 2022, and has been recommended for approval by the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the RST Tribal Council does hereby approve the purchase of a dual-facing swing set from American Playground at $68,615 for all 4 of our early Head Start centers.
Discussion. Need a question? Sure. All in favor? Online stand? Online stand?
Oh.
Janelle?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
I need to, I'd like to motion to approve Resolution 2022-64.
Need a second? Jordan? Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start at the fourth again. Whereas the SLO HSEHS requested sealed bids for exercise equipment for our program wellness center from December 20th of 21 to December 31st of 21, January 10th, 22 to January 14th, with an extended advertisement from January 24th, 22 to January 28th of 22. Whereas promoting staff wellness in our program is Head Start Program Performance Standard Equipment 1302-93, which states, a program must make mental health and wellness information available to staff regarding health issues that may affect their job performance, and must provide regularly scheduled opportunities to learn about mental health, wellness, and health education. Whereas 2 sealed bids were received from Nova at $56,420.29 and Rosebud Facilities Management at $59,710.59. Whereas the SLHS-EHS is recommending approval to purchase exercise equipment from Nova at $56,420.29. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022, with a quorum present, and has been recommended for approval to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the RST Tribal Council does hereby approve the purchase of exercise equipment from Nova at $56,420.29 for promoting the staff wellness for all Sichungu, Lakota, Oyate, Head Start, and Early Head Start staff.
Discussion. Need a question? Steve? All in favor?
Online, Ali?
Yes.
Yes. Stan?
Oh,
Neil?
yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve 2022-65.
Give me a second. Jordan? Go ahead.
All right, I'll start at the fourth whereas. The SLO HS EHS has requested sealed bids for supplies and personal protective equipment from December 20th of 21 to December 31st of 21. January 10, 22 to January 14th, 22, with an extended advertisement from January 24th, 22 to January 28th of 2022. Whereas 2 sealed bids were received from Rosebud Office Solutions at $37,629.50 and the protective at $34,855.60. Whereas SLO HS EHS program is recommending protective at the $34,850.60 for approval. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022 with a quorum present and has been recommended for approval to the Council of Rosebud Sioux Tribe. Therefore, be it resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve protective at $34,855.60 to purchase supplies and personnel protective equipment, PPE, for the Sichungu Lakota Oyate Head Start Early Head Start program.
Okay. Discussion. Wayne, question? All in favor? Online, Eileen? Stan?
Oh,
Neil?
yes.
Opposed? Not voting?
$13?
Okay.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-66.
You second? Jordan?
From the fourth whereas, the SLOHS EHS program has requested sealed bids for replacing deck floors and handrails at the 4 early Head Start centers from December 20th, 21 to December 31st, 21, January 10th, 22 to January 14th, 22, with an extended advertisement from January 24th of 2022 to January 28th of 2022. Whereas the bid description stated to tear out floor handrails and replace with composite tracks to reinforce existing deck walkway for wheelchair accessibility at all 4 of the early Head Start centers. Whereas 2 sealed bids were received from CNC Custom Concrete at $267,509.39 and from Lake Creek Development at $202,958.25. Whereas SLO HS EHS is recommending approval for Lake Creek Development at $202,958.25. Whereas this resolution was reviewed, passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022 with a quorum present and has been recommended to the Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the RST Tribal Council does hereby approve of Lake Creek Development at $202,958.25 to reinforce the decks, floors, and replacing the floor and handrails with Trex at all 4 early Head Start centers.
Discussion. Question. Share. All in favor? Dan?
Oh,
Eileen?
Yes.
Tennille?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried. 13. Getting close, Dara.
I know, we're almost done. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-67.
Second by Jordan. Go ahead.
Okay, starting at the fourth, whereas the Sichungu Lakota Oyate Head Start Early Head Start requested sealed bids for spring and fall lawn care services for 7 Head Start centers and 4 early Head Start centers from November 8th, 21 to November 19th, 2021. November 29th, 2021 to December 3rd, 2021, with an extended advertisement from January 24th of 22 to January 28th of 22. Whereas the spring, fall lawn care consists of spring pre-emergence herbicides, fertilizers, weed control, and insecticide, thatching and pruning of all shrubs to specifications, power vacuuming of all rock beds to look like new, weed sterilization in landscape areas and driveways next to the centers, the startup and adjusting for irrigation systems, and the installation of new sod in bare areas for 11 Head Start and early Head Start centers totaling, whereas 3 sealed bids were received from Daryl Jones at $87,549, Rob Curtis Landscaping at $95,576, and Facilities Management Redco at $60,450. Whereas SLO HSEHS is recommending approval for Rob Curtis Landscaping at $95,576. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022, with a quorum present and has been recommended to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve Rob Curtis Landscaping at $95,576 for spring and fall lawn care for 7 Head Start and 4 early Head Start centers.
Discussion.
I know.
Russell, go ahead.
Normally, we don't have to go with the lowest bid, but look at the bid that were submitted, there's over $5,000 difference. What's the, why are they going with the highest bid, I guess?
We had discussed this during the meeting, and they had went with Facilities Management Redco the last round, and it wasn't up to par. The lady that was administering the project was Googling effects, and in the process, all the sites lost a lot of their lawn care. Yes, everything was messed up. It was very shoddy, a very shoddy job. So we're going, and then the other one, his proposal was it didn't mention anything. I know he's starting out, but you kind of, it's very vague, just a few words. And so they went with Rob Curtis because in the past, he's been the one who's spiffed them up and had them looking pretty good. And so we voted as a committee to go ahead and go with him. I don't know if he is or if he claims any sort of Indian preference. Oh, from Winter? Yeah. I just know he does really good work, and we didn't want to make the same mistake by going with a company that, essentially killed off a lot of stuff. So we don't want to make that same mistake.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when we have our own chartered entity not performing up to standard.
Yes.
And our tribal members, it's kind of, we're kind of in a sorry state of
Affairs?
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my question.
Any more discussion? Share?
Thank you. So if the past performance from facilities management wasn't satisfactory, why aren't we considering the tribal member?
I had just stated, Councilwoman Wright, that he had a very vague business plan that was only worth a few words on it, and we just needed more to go with on that. And so we thought we'd go with Rob Curtis, because he had already worked for us, and he's done a great job. So that's why we chose like a committee to vote on him.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Need a question?
I'm getting hungry, y'all.
Okay, Russell, thank you. All in favor? Online, Stan?
Oh.
Eileen? Tennille?
Yes.
Opposed?
Eileen, yes. Sorry.
1201, motion carried.
Alrighty, all right, last one. Make a motion, I need a motion to approve resolution 2022-68.
Got three more, or two more after this one.
Oh. All
Motion to
right.
approve. Need a second by Jordan. Go ahead.
Okay, all right, I will start at that fourth whereas the SLOHS EHS has requested sealed bids for 40 Dell Optiplex 7780 all-in-one computers from December 20th, 21 to December 31, 21 to January 10th, 2022 to January 14th, 2022 with an extended, there's a grammatical error there, but extended advertisement from January 24th, 2022 to January 28th, 2022. Whereas the computer all-in-one computers will be replaced by existing outdated processors for selected classrooms and administrative staff. Whereas one sealed bid was received from Evergreen Office Solutions at $99,960 and recommended for approval. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, with a quorum present and has been recommended for approval to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve to purchase 40 Dell Optiplex 7780 all-in-one computers from Evergreen Office Solutions at $99,960 for Sichungu Lakota Oyate Head Start and Early Head Start program.
Discussion. Steve, question? All in favor? Online, Eileen?
Yes.
Dan?
Oh.
Neil?
Yes.
Opposed? Now voting? Motion carried.
I'd like to make a motion to approve it. 2022-69.
Second, Jordan?
SLO. HS program.
Stan, can you mute, please?
I know.
I'm on mute.
All right, let's get back to this. The SLO, HS, EHS.
Stan, you need to mute. Thank you.
Okay, the SLO, HS, EHS program requested sealed bids for 6 inches of concrete on existing gravel parking lots at Lame Deer Head Start and Winter, Rosebud Head Start, St. Francis Head Start, and Mission Head Start centers, in addition to materials, labor costs, and whereas the SLO HS EHS program received 2 bids, one from Rosebud Concrete at $375,439.05 and from Daniel Razzo at $263,240 after 1 month of advertising. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by the RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022 with a quorum present and has been recommended for approval to the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, it be resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby select Daniel Razzo at $263,240 to complete concrete work at 4 Sichungu Lakota Oyate Head Start centers.
Discussion. Any question? Wait. All in favor?
Yay.
Online. Eileen?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? 12-0-0.
Okay, for the last piece of legislation to be voted on, I ask for motion.
Ask for motion for
Approval of
approval of
2270.
motion to approve. You second, Jordan? Go ahead.
Okay, whereas the SLO HS EHS has requested sealed bids for playground equipment from December 20th, 21 to December 31, 2022. Oh, Duale. December 31, 2021. January 10th, 2022 to January 14th, 2022, with an extended advertisement from January 24th, 2022 to January 28th of 2022. Whereas 2 sealed bids were received from Superior at 415, 359.82, and from American Playground at 380,000. Whereas the SLO HS EHS is recommending approval to purchase playground equipment from American Playground at 380,000 for St. Francis, Rosebud Mission, and Parmley Early Head Start Centers and the Long Warrior Dunham Head Start Center. Whereas this resolution was reviewed and passed by RST Education Committee at a duly called meeting on Wednesday, February 16, 2022, with a quorum present, and has been recommended by the RST Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved, the RST Tribal Council does hereby approve the purchase of playground equipment from American Playground at $380,000 for all 4 early Head Start centers and Long Warrior Dunham Head Start Center in Norris, South Dakota. Thank you.
Discussion. Was there an amendment that needed to be in there? No? Question by Chair. All in favor? Online, Eileen? Online, Eileen?
Yes, yes.
Stan? Stan?
Oh.
Janelle?
Yes.
Opposed? Not voting? Motion carried.
Thank you, guys.
1501. Okay. That's for education. We need to have somebody, we're gonna take a break.
Motion to reset, or, well, no, not recess, sorry. Can you
Take
just
lunch
call
break?
us into lunch break?
Yeah, we'll do a lunch break. How long do you guys want to go? A full hour? Half hour? Hour. Okay, we'll come back at 1:30.
Gee, I thought you said 4 hours. 4 hours.
That'll give me enough time to talk to Pam.
Russell, can you say the meal prayer?
Sure.
Thank you.
Chichango yate ampetu washte. Lehe waha chunka mato Lakota imachiapi. English, Wayne Bearshield. All my people know me as Shoe Bear. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hemp Commission this morning, today. The Hemp Commission is accepting licensed growers license applications. You have to go to rosebudhemp.org to get the application, rosebudhemp.org. It has a listing of all the commissioners, the applications, the fees, the steps that you have to go through. The second part of this PSA is to inform all you retailers out there that are selling hemp products. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe does have a retailer's license for hemp products. Please go to rosebudhemp.org to get this information. It was installed last year and came into effect this year. So if you are selling hemp products of any kind, please go to rosebudhemp.org and get your retailer's application filled out, sent in with the applicable fees and everything, and we can get you approved and you can have a license from the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Hemp Commission hanging on your wall, making sure you are legal. Once again, pay attention to these two PSAs. Thank you from the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Hemp Commission. Ampetu ashte yuhapo. Aho.
This is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster, and wear a mask. Thank you and stay safe.
Chichango yate ampetu washte. Lehe waha chunka mato Lakota imachiapi. English, Wayne Bearshield. Where all my people know me as Shoe Bear. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hemp Commission this morning, today. The Hemp Commission is accepting license, growers license applications. You have to go to rosebudhemp.org to get the application, rosebudhemp.org. It has a listing of all the commissioners, the applications, the fees, the steps that you have to go through. The second part of this PSA is to inform all you retailers out there that are selling hemp products. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe does have a retailer's license for hemp products. Please go to rosebudhemp.org to get this information. It was installed last year and came into effect this year. So if you are selling hemp products of any kind, please go to rosebudhemp.org and get your retailer's application filled out, sent in with the applicable fees and everything, and we can get you approved and you can have a license from the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Hemp Commission hanging on your wall, making sure you are legal. Once again, pay attention to these two PSAs. Thank you from the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Hemp Commission. Ampetu washte yuhapo. Aho.
This is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster, and wear a mask. Thank you and stay safe.
Chichango Yate, Ampetu Waste. Lehe Waha Chunka Matola Kota Imachiapi. English, Wayne Bearshield. Where all my people know me as Shoe Bear. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hemp Commission this morning, today. The Hemp Commission is accepting growers license applications. You have to go to rosebudhemp.org to get the application, rosebudhemp.org. It has a listing of all the commissioners, the applications, the fees, the steps that you have to go through. The second part of this PSA is to inform all you retailers out there that are selling hemp products. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe does have a retailer's license for hemp products. Please go to rosebudhemp.org, rosebudhemp.org, to get this information. It was installed last year and came into effect this year. So if you are selling hemp products of any kind, please go to rosebudhemp.org and get your retailer's application filled out, sent in with the applicable fees and everything, and we can get you approved and you can have a license from the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Hemp Commission hanging on your wall, making sure you are legal. Once again, pay attention to these two PSAs. Thank you from the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Hemp Commission. Ampetu Ashte Yuhapo. Aho.
This is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster, and wear a mask. Thank you and stay safe.
Chichango yate ampetu washte. Lehe waha chunka mato lakota imachiapi. English, Wayne Bearshield. But all my people know me as Shoe Bear. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hemp Commission this morning, today. The Hemp Commission is accepting growers license applications. You have to go to rosebudhemp.org to get the application, rosebudhemp.org. It has a listing of all the commissioners, the applications, the fees, the steps that you have to go through. The second part of this PSA is to inform all you retailers out there that are selling hemp products. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe does have a retailer's license for hemp products. Please go to rosebudhemp.org, rosebudhemp.org, to get this information. It was installed last year and came into effect this year. So if you are selling hemp products of any kind, please go to rosebudhemp.org and get your retailer's application filled out, sent in with the applicable fees and everything, and we can get you approved and you can have a license from the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Hemp Commission hanging on your wall, making sure you are legal. Once again, pay attention to these two PSAs. Thank you from the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Hemp Commission. Ampetu ashte yuhapo. Aho.
everybody. This is Stephen Denora III, Tribal Treasurer for the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. I would just like to take this time to encourage everybody to get your vaccine, get your booster.
Monday? Sheriff? Monday? Yeah, we get half a day for those guys that are traveling, so a lot of people going down there. And then a lot of them that are want to go to that big tournaments too, so.
Where's that at?
Big tournaments, last days in Rapid, and double A's are in Sioux Falls, and B's are in Aberdeen.
So we're recessed on Monday?
Yeah, let's do that, let's recess till Monday. We're not gonna get it far back.
Amen. Nice day, enjoy it.
Stan, we're gonna recess till Monday.
Okay, I need to be excused Monday.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you.